Happy Wednesday. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to another day. Happy to have you all here. And let me put this up. Hey, everyone. Hi, welcome. It is Wednesday if you're joining live, and it's lovely out. It's sunny. It's supposed to be not too hot today, I believe, not too crazy. Here in Chicago, that is. So yeah, we're gonna have a good time today. Get out in that sun a little bit. So today, welcome. I'm Midnight. Happy to have you here. This is another pop-up class, and as you saw maybe in that title or down there in the title, it is all in the hips today. So we are getting into our hips. Hips are so important for so many different reasons, but it's also where a lot of energy gets stuck. It's where a lot of imbalances happen. It's our powerhouse right down here. So it holds a lot of potential, but it also holds a lot of, potential for things to go wrong too. So let's just focus in on those hips today. It's not going to be as long of a session, probably. We're just going to focus in and get everything moving. Take breaks when you need to, modify whenever you need to. If you do not want to work your hips today, you're like, I got a hip issue, I can't do that, then check out the website, check out our YouTube channel. We have a ton of other online classes. Join another pop-up class where you get more of a full body workout. All right, team, let's get going. Let me take that little thing off just so it's not in our way. And start by standing it up. Let's start by doing some hip circles around. Find your balance. If you need to, you can grab onto something. Just starting to warm up the hips. They can be flexed or pointed, but have energy through the toes. Now, as we do this, we're not just warming the hips, we're also tightening the core in and working our balance and stability. Breathing into it. And if you're sitting all day for the rest of the day, if you're going to go on a bike ride, if you're going to go on a marathon jog, really whatever you're doing, getting into our hips is a good idea for you. We go the other way. Go out, in, and down. Out, in, and down. And whether we're active or inactive, these joints can get thrown off either way, right? The two fastest ways to injury is underuse or overuse. So we want to pay attention to these joints. Get in all the connective tissues, strengthen our mobility, our muscles, our flexibility. All right. Turn to the side. Do grab onto something if you need it for balance, or you can challenge your balance and just start to gently swing one leg forward and back. Watch out in the space around you. I have this foot parallel, so the knee is staying forward. I'm not turning it out, and I'm just starting to move it into that hip joint, like a pendulum swinging. Then give it a little turn out of the leg. So as you sweep it up, it turns out into a little attitude position. And as you sweep it back, it keeps in that attitude. If that's feeling weird, or you're not really sure what I'm talking about, just keep swinging the leg. No worries. Good, last one, swing it in and out. You're drawing like a little figure 8. Swing the knee across, bring it out. Swing across and up. I'm also teaching a dance class tonight, so this is gonna get our hips ready to do all of that cardio dance work, Zumba dance party this evening. Good, switch over to the other side. Starting with the foot parallel, leg parallel, swing it back and forth. It does not have to be big. So you can make this a big giant kick front and back. Just make sure you don't fall over. Make sure your chest stays lifted. It doesn't have to be big. And we're just starting to warm up the juices in there. Get the energy flowing. Then take this into your attitude position. Turn it out, turn it out. Again, if you are not really sure what that turnout means or feels like, don't worry about it too much, but you're turning the knee out to the side and then You're squeezing the butt and trying to turn the knee out at an angle. Good, then swing it across and up, across, up, across, up. Really find that pendulum swing. Try not to control this, right? That's weird. Usually I tell you, control everything, don't use momentum. But here, do find a little swing of the leg. Couple more. Last one. Nice work. Cross one foot over the other foot. Pinky toes together, ankles apart. And that front leg, that's the hip we're gonna lean into. Reach the other hand up and stretch up and over. And switch over to the other side. Ooh, yeah, I feel it. Deep into that side of that hip. Switch over to the other side. Start with the foot in front. So we'll start this way now. Then lengthen. And then go to the other side. We get a deeper stretch. You can also bend that front knee. Really push the back leg straight. All right, team. We're coming down onto our mat. Coming into a quadruped position. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. Start with some cat-cows. Now I know this is all about the hips, right? But we need our spine to be sturdy and stable to hold us. So a lot of this work is going to be stabilizing through the spine as we move the legs around. And hold it center and wag it side to side. So we want that spine to be a little bit warm as well before we get into this hip work. Circle it around. Lengthen the tailbone, lengthen through the crown of the head. Circle other way. Hold here, pull the belly button in. Imagine like there's a line right down the middle of your body. Keep over that line and lift one knee up. That's it. Set it down, lift the other knee up. You might feel yourself shift your weight a little bit side to side, but I don't want your body to move away from that center line. So I feel this hand pressing in more weight when I lift up the knee, and then this hand presses more weight when I lift up this knee. But I'm not actually shifting my body side to side. I have to keep myself over that center line. Good. Then see if you can lift opposite hand, opposite knee. Keeping over that center line. Keep drawing the belly button in. Again, I know this is more core, maybe some shoulders, but working on stabilizing our body so we can move our hips around without getting into our lower back and keeping our core engaged. All right. Whew, this music is amping up. Roll it onto your back. Hip bridges up and down. Squeeze the glutes. Lift. Press down through the heels of your feet. And warming up those cheeks. Starting to build the motion and the heat into this powerhouse of the body. We call it the primary powerhouse in Pilates. It's where our strength and power, source of energy. Pulse it at the top. Pulse, 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 pulse. Squeezing through the glutes, digging down through the heels. 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll all the way down. Good. Bring yourself into a frog-like position. So feet together, knife edge side of the foot down onto the mat. Again, slow this time. Squeeze up for 2, down for 2. You're rolling through the spine. It's the same thing as the hip bridge. Now the knees are just out. Imagine like the knees are plugged into sockets in the wall. So don't let them move. As you curl up, keep them exactly in the same place. So they're not shifting. They're not making any adjustments. They're trying to stay right there, just lifting the hips up. If this does not feel accessible or right for your body right now, go back to that regular hip bridge. Can we speed it up? Lift, lower, lift. Tuck the pelvis, hovering that sacrum, that lower back off of the ground. Breathing, squeezing, squeeze those cheeks as deep as you can. Pulse it up, pulse, pulse. Yeah, warm into those hips. At any time, take breaks. So this is going to be a little bit more like a bar class where we're burning into our muscles. We're trying to get to that point of fatigue. Once you reach that fatigue where you lose your form, take that little rest. Breathe, take a shake out, jump back in as soon as you can. But no shame in shaking out. That means you're doing it right. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Curl it all the way down. Good. Bring your knees together. Feet stay together. Same thing. Slow. Squeeze your knees. Rolling up for 2, down for 2. Squeeze, lift. See how this feels different. It might feel really awkward keeping those knees squeezed together. That's okay. It can feel awkward. If it feels painful or not good for your body, then separate the feet back out again a little bit, but don't go too wide. We're really trying to zip up through that midline, squeezing your thighs towards the midline. Maybe they don't touch, but we're trying to squeeze them together. A different angle into that hip joint, into our glutes, into our hamstrings, working the back of the thigh as well. 2 more slow. I feel that burn already starting to set in. I don't know about you. Speed it up to tempo. Lift. Squeeze. Keep squeezing knees together as tight as you can. Breathe. Press into it. Dig into those heels. You have 8 more. 7. Pressing up strong. Let's go. 4, 2. Pulse it at the top. Come on, pulse. Pulse. Little squeezes. Squeeze those inner thighs together a little bit deeper, a little bit harder. 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, roll all the way down. Nice work. Open and close those knees. Give a little shake out into the hips. Woo! Roll it onto your side. All right, we're gonna do one of my favorite hip series in bar or in life. Line your back up against the side of your mat. So you want your spine to be straight, like it's up against the wall. Then bring your knees and angle them maybe a 45 or like 30-degree angle down towards the diagonal. You can tuck the knees in so the knees are in line with your tailbone. I personally like to have them a little bit further out. Keep the hips stacked right on top. Clamshell. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. All right, so this hip stays absolutely still. Don't let this hip move. It's not about how high the leg goes. Leg may only lift up this high. I'd rather have that than to lift the leg up high and let this hip shift back and forth, right? So remember, if we did that strong core bouncing over the center line, you're right there again. Strong core over that center line, not moving the torso, just moving the leg. Now shift your head back a little bit. Most of us get really hunched in here when we're thinking. Pulse it up. Gonna start to feel that burn into the side of the hip. We're getting into that glute med. Really important part of our hip. Side of it here, all the things that connect it all the way down. Keep going. This connects down to that knee. A lot of times our knee issues or our back issues come from this muscle, this side of the hip right here. Hold in 4, 3, 2, hold it. Lift pinky toe up and down. Lift, lower. It's like you're swinging open a door. And I love doing this series, mainly because I always feel it. No matter what. I also feel like I can breathe through it. It's one of those I can like zen out and really just focus into my hips and push a little bit harder than maybe I could if I were just doing squats or something full body. Pulse it up, pulse, pulse. You're twisting through that hip joint. You have a screw on your kneecap and you're screwing it in deeper every time you twist. Keep breathing. How's that head? Hold it. Bring the other toe up. Big Daddy Clam. Up and down. Why is it called Big Daddy Clam? I'm not really sure. That's how I learned it. I guess it's bigger because our toes are up in the air, but whatever inspires you. pressing. Whew. Keep building, pound it out when you need to. You can take that shake out whenever you need to. That's what these series are all about. Fatiguing that muscle, pushing that muscle to its limits, where it can't go any further. Start to feel that shake, that burn. Take that rest, then do it again. Pulse it up. Lift, lift. If you don't feel that burn starting to set in, take this hip bone and push it forward even more. Then push that knee up against your stacked hip. You are your own resistance here. 8, 7, keep that belly drawn in. 4, 3, 2, hold it. Bring the knees together, meet slicer, extend the leg out. Bend the knee, try and tap the knee on the mat as close in front of the chest as you can. Extend and bend. Extend, bend. How long can you get the leg? How tight can you squeeze it in? Sliding it along that bottom leg like a meat slicer. Speed it up. Out, in, out, in. Press. Kick that leg up with power. Press it out. Maybe kick it so hard that your inner thigh shakes. Embrace that shake. 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, hold it out. Hold, relax that bottom leg, bring this front leg forward. Little lift, up, up. All right, this top hand comes right in front of the stomach. It's helping stabilize me. I already, so much burn right here. If you need to, you can bring the leg further out. Here, not gonna feel it maybe as much, still gonna work it, but not feel it as much. The more that you bring it towards your forehead, the more I personally feel it. Little circles around. Stretch the toe, angle the knee down, angle the heel towards the ceiling. Little tiny circles, other way. Oh, okay. It's serious business now. I know, keep breathing. We're almost there, team. We are almost there. Stretch that leg. Back to single lifts, let's go. Flex the foot. Toes angled to the ground, heel angled towards the ceiling. And if you're not feeling it, can you lift up a little bit higher? Burn a little bit deeper. Big finale, change it to a bend and kick. Bend, kick, bend, kick. Now you're definitely kicking so hard, it makes your thighs shake. Kick, kick, kick. Kick up a little higher. Kick like you're kicking through a door. You're stamping into the ground. Speed it up, let's go. Kick, 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 kick. Oh, all right, I'm angling this way a little bit. Give that leg a little bit of a break, then come back in. Let's go. 16, 15, 14. 8. Hold in 4, 3, 2. Hold it. Oh, lift up 1 inch higher. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yes. Bend that leg. Woo. Give a little pound out. Give a little shake out. Oh, my goodness. Good. Extend that bottom leg out. Do a few inner thigh lifts. Just to give this really a break. And to balance out. We're doing a lot of outer thigh work. Good to do some inner thigh work. It's all connected in there. Our legs go around 360. Our hip joints go around 360. So we focus a lot on the front of our leg because we do a lot of forward motion. Pulse it up. Do a lot of quad heavy movement in our regular life. Usually don't get enough hamstring, and definitely usually don't get enough outer thigh and inner thigh. 16, 15, keep it going through the silence. Breathe, squeeze. Last 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, nice work. Good. Bring it up. Before we hit that second side, we get to stretch this side out. Cross it over into your figure 4. Lift up through the heart. And just thread it side to side. Oh, that should feel so good. Feels so good in my hip. So you go where you need to. Maybe you're just down here, right? This is great. Maybe you can bend and come up a little higher. Maybe you want to cradle this leg and give it a little rock side to side. Just sit up tall, wherever you are. Good. Cross this leg all the way over the bottom leg. You can either keep this leg straight or you can bend the knee and give yourself a spinal twist. Opposite arm reaches across, hooking the elbow or just grabbing on with the hand. Inhale, reach, lift up through the heart. Exhale, twist through the spine and rotate. Look behind you. Sit bones down on the ground. Shaking it out, stretching it out. All of that heat, all that burn, that lactic acid, glucose building up, try and flush it away, breathe into it. And that's how we get the energy to flow. Get our blood to flow. Just get lymph, all the movement through our muscles, our joints, our system. Come back front. Woo. Options. Either you try and stack shins on top of each other, like Lincoln logs, and shift your weight forward. If that does not feel accessible, put your foot down in front, kind of like a crisscross, and shift yourself forward. If you're feeling up to it, can you cross both of your knees over? Make sure the legs are stacked right on top and sit tall and shift yourself forward. Then you get to choose where you want to go. Everyone's hips are different. Everyone's degree of turnout is different. Everyone's mobility is different. Some of it is strength, some of it is stuff we can work on, stretching it out, but some of it is just biology. It's just anatomy, the way that you were born. So try not to judge yourself. Try just to figure out what your body needs, what stretch works for it best. There's no better stretch than another stretch. It's just whatever we all individually need. Oh, all right. So excited. We get to do that again. Psych ourselves up. We got this. Okay, head over to the other side. Oh, ooh, a little floor massage maybe. Yeah. All right, laying all the way down. Back up against the side of the mat. Bend your knees at that 45, 30 degree angle. I like my toes a little bit more in front. If you want to tuck them back behind, either way, it's going to get your butt. Hip shifts forward. Started with that clamshell. Lift and lower. All right, now we know where we're going. Do your best to try not to pace yourself. I know I do that. I'm like, okay, I know the sequence. I'm gonna try and pace myself so I make it the whole way. Try and push as hard as you can so you have to shake out. You have to pound out as many times as possible. Plus, this side is already more fatigued. It was stabilizing you on the first side, so it's already a little bit more tired. So accept the shakeout, accept that it's gonna happen, hopefully, and let that be your goal. Because I already feel that heat building in here. You put your hand back here too and just feel that muscle. Pulse it up. Pulse. Pulse. It's different than the butt back here. You might feel some tension back here. You should really feel it, like right, on the side of that hip bone. Then take your head, maybe bring it back a little bit so we're not crunching down on the spine. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Draw the belly button in, stabilizing through the core. Hold it, lift, lower. Yeah. Swing it up, swing it down. Trying to keep the knee in the same space. So the knee's not dropping, it's not raising, the knee stays the same, just pivoting at that point right there, like you're swinging open a door. Two, pulse it at the top, like you're tightening in that screw. Tighter, tighter. You're wringing out this hip joint. Wring it out. Twist, twist. We've got 8 more. 7. Hold in 4. Hold it. Lift the other toe up. Big daddy clam. Knee lifts and lowers. Oh my goodness. Butt is burning. All right. So when muscles start to burn and you're like, why am I doing this in my life? That's what I like to remind us of the benefits of why we're doing this. Strengthening this muscle is going to help stabilize our back. It's going to help bring support to our powerhouse. It's going to help our alignment in our knee. Pulse it up. It's going to bring balance to the lateral, our side body. We get so much front, maybe a little bit of back, but we forget about that side. So we got to get all of it especially if we're sitting down a lot. We're seated on our butt turns off. So we got to strengthen back all those muscles. Hold it, bring the knee down, going into that meat slicer. Nice and slow, extend out, bend the knee, tuck it in as tight as you can in front of that chest. Extend and bend. Out, in, reach, in. Keep going nice and slow. How long can you extend the leg? How tight can you tuck that knee in towards your chest? Sliding it on that bottom leg like a meat slicer. All right, can we speed it up? Out, in, out, in. Poke the toe out like a fencing sword. Poke it. So hard it makes your thighs shake. Embrace that shake, embrace that jiggle. Feels good. That's our body. It's our body working. It's our body moving. Almost there, team. We have 4, 3, then you hold it out in 2. Hold it out, relax this bottom leg, bring it forward. Oh my goodness, here we go. Okay, lift, lift, lift. Hand comes down, help stabilize you. Oh, this side, burning, on fire. Little tiny circles. Keep going. I am taking a pound out. Keep going with those circles around. Keep breathing. Or no, you can always come down a little bit more this way. You don't have to keep forward. But the more forward you are, the deeper it burns right here. Other way. But that's for me. Maybe that's not for you. Maybe you feel it more right here. Then go right there. Play with your angles. Play with this movement. There's no one way to do it, as long as you're just keeping yourself safe and you're listening to your body. Back to single lifts. Up, up. Woo! Yeah. Flex the foot, toes to the ground, heel towards the ceiling. We got our finale. Bend and press. Bend, kick. Bend, kick. Kick so hard, it makes that thigh shake. Shake. Stamping into the ground, kicking through a door, kicking through a challenge. Speed it up. Kick, 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 kick. Oh, can you kick a little bit higher? Ooh, can you kick it a little bit closer to your forehead? 16, 15, 14. 8. Hold in 4, 3, 2. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee. Woo! Pound out. Shake out. This muscle's relaxing. Bounce ourselves out. Lift and lower that bottom foot, bottom leg. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so if that got into places, I remember when I first started doing bar, that got into places, muscles, I was like, I didn't even know I had those muscles. That was a feeling unlike anything I have ever felt before. And that's a good sign. That means you're getting deep. We're not just getting those superficial muscles. We're getting deep into those muscles that wrap around the bone, that go into the hip joints. Yeah, that's our foundation. We need a strong foundation, just like a house. If the foundation of a house is crumbly or weak, everything on top, no matter how strong, in fact, if it's too strong, it's too big, it's gonna crumble down. So we gotta get that foundational muscle. Pulse it at the top. Pulse, pulse. You feel that soreness. But if we incorporate this into more of our normal practice, if you have back pain, you have knee pain, you might find that that pain starts to reduce, hopefully alleviate with some of this work here. Last 8. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, relax it down. All right, bring it up. Let's stretch it out. Whew. So let's some stretch out. We're gonna do some mobility, hip mobility, and we'll get out of here. So you're going to your figure 4 stretch, wherever that is, with that knee bent, with the knee straight, or you can cradle that leg around. Wherever you are, again, you're not slouching over, sit up tall. So you can see me from the side. Sometimes we're gonna do this, stick the chest forward, reach up to the heart. Oh, that deepens that stretch so much more. If that doesn't feel accessible, then go down to one of these other choices. Yeah, but you really wanna keep that spine straight. It's not gonna do your hips any good to get deeper into the hip, but to lose the integrity of your core or your spine. Again, that's also gonna lead to injuries and to imbalances. So we wanna train everything to support each other. All right, cross all the way over. Option to keep this leg straight, or you can bend it in, spinal twist. Opposite hand comes over, or you hook the elbow. Inhale up, exhale, twist. Both sit bones deep down into the floor. Reach up through the chest, the crown of the head. Ooh. It all is connected together, right? The hips connected into the spine, to the sacrum, the legs. One thing happens, ripple effect, down at your big toe, and it can affect your left shoulder. But it's also kind of amazing, right? So we're all connected and everything's connected together. Stack the shins on top and shift yourself side to side, or you can put this foot down on the floor if that doesn't feel accessible, or stack the knees on top. So that also means that if you start to strengthen, if you start to bring balance, alignment to one part of your body, that also has a ripple effect for the rest of your body. So I know sometimes it can feel insurmountable to tackle every part of your body. And it's a journey. It's never, you're never just done working on your body. But if you just sort of bring health, wellness, balance to one part, it really spreads more quickly than I think I thought it would. All right, bring it all the way up. Some hip mobility. Let's give it a shot. Going into a 90-90 position. So let me show you what it looks like this way. So I have one leg forward, other leg back behind. It's kind of like a pretzel sit. There it is. So this side, right here. Yeah, hands come back behind me. I lean myself back, keep the feet where they are to shift the knees up and come up and over the other hip. Yeah, so I'm just doing a switch up and over. It's nothing too crazy. Just some mobility here. Up and over. Up and over. Now, if you want, you can add a lean. So lean over that knee, come up and over, lean over the other knee. Yeah, let me show you kind of a different angle just so you, lean over. Feel that stretch into the hip, lean. Stretch over the hip. All right, now let's see if you can do it without your hands. Bring your hands up and over. Well, that's a lot harder. Keep lifted up in the heart. Keep the belly button pulling in. Takes more in that core though too. And connecting the core with the hips. Bring it over. A few more. Good, last one. Make sure you even yourself out though. Yeah, good. Come up, keep this 99-degree angle, then shift your weight back, tuck the pelvis under, and release. Just that. Do a tuck, release. Super small. Tuck, release. I'm pushing this hip forward, then releasing it. Push it forward and release. Press forward, release. Two more. Last one. Press forward, release. Switch over to the other side. And pushing this hip forward and release. Just press, release. Now, as I do this, shine the heart up towards the ceiling as well. We're not hunching over here. It's gonna be a lot harder to do. Press everything. Lift it. Lifting. Good. Yeah. Roll all the way down onto the mat. Oh, with my mat here. There we go. Ground to the insides or outsides of your feet. Happy baby pose. Just open those knees up. Give yourself a little rock side to side. All right, team. Just gonna do a few other just nice restorative things for our hips, and that's it. That's all. There's a ton of other stuff we could do. We could spend 3 hours working our hips, but I feel like that was a good amount to get into our glutes, get into our hips today. Okay, take your feet down, then knock your knees together at internal rotation. Yeah. I'm going to do a little sway windshield wiper with this. So let me show you what that looks like here. So have the knees knocked in. And just kind of, yeah, kind of alternating. We work the external rotation, but not always the internal. Good to get all the different angles. All right, then set those knees together. See if you can just relax here. Palms face up towards the ceiling. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. Sink the hips down. Breathe. It's a little restorative moment here. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. Lengthen those legs out. Give them a little shake out. Roll it onto your stomach. Quick little back extension, just because it's always good. Sphinx pose, elbows down. Press the hips forward. Lift up through the heart. Push the hips down. Lift back up to your quadruped position. One foot steps forward. Hip flexor stretch. Get a good, nice hip flexor stretch in there. Option to tuck the toes under, lift up that back leg, or you can keep that back knee down. And come up. Same arm as the hand that's back. So this, my right leg is back, my right arm's gonna come up, and then reach up and over. You can put this hand down, a bigger lateral side bend. Really feel it in the side of my body and down the front of that hip joint. Come back, switch over to the other side, whatever transition you want to make. Press that hip down, push the hip down to the floor. Option to tuck the toes and lift up the knee. Just press down. You bring yourself up. Keep pressing that hip forward. Same arm as leg that's back, comes up, stretches over. This side bend may not be very big. That's okay, as long as you feel a stretch right here. Come up. Ooh, all right. Tuck the toes under. Make yourself up into a forward fold, however you want to get there. Just hang out here, a little stretch on those hamstrings. We did work those and all that bridging we did. Bend the knees slightly. Curl up one vertebra at a time as the last thing to come up. Step out nice and wide. Go into a nice wide second plie. Heels wide, hips turned out. Either hands or elbows can go down onto the knees. Just give yourself a gentle little sway side to side. Bend one knee, keep the other leg lengthened. You can straighten it all out, or you can just keep it bent, but over to this side. Hand comes down, other arm comes up. Give yourself a twist rotation. I'm pushing my tricep and my elbow back into that knee. Shift yourself over to the other side. And hand down, other hand up, twist open. Push your tricep or your elbow back into that knee. Spiral your heart up towards the ceiling. Back to center. Curl yourself up. Shake out those hips. Woo, nice work, everyone. Give yourself a little run out in those hips. A little love. Maybe a little stretch. Zip up through the midline. Arms go overhead. Just do one last final balance. Lift up on the tippy toes. Squeeze the glutes. Feel all of the power in the hips, tightening in and around. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Yes. Going into our fluffing aura, our tradition. Hands together. Bring all the gratitude, the intention, the positive juju, all that good stuff. Shake it out. Cross it up, cross it middle, cross it low. Bring the energy up. Let it fall down on you. Thank yourself for making it here today. Thank your hips for all the amazing things they do. Strong, beautiful part of your body right here. Holds a lot of power. And thank yourself for taking the time to give them some nourishment, some love, some attention. Thanks for joining me. Again, my name is Midnight. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, requests. Put them down in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll put up this information again. Check out our website, social media, Patreon page where you can become a member and donate to monthly donations to become a member to get perks and bonuses and support our page, our YouTube channel as well. And we will be doing some videos later today with some exciting announcements. So just stay tuned for that. That's one of the reasons why I'm done up a little bit more than usual today, because we'll be filming a bit. So stay tuned for that. We have some exciting announcements coming up for August, and just giving you an update of what our plan is for these classes as we move forward into next month. All right, everyone, thanks so much again for joining. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy, happy moving, and hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.